will start. There it is. And Abby, for what it's worth, it's Bandcamp Friday. I don't know if that matters to you or for the topic today, but it seems relevant. It seems like it's kind of exciting. So to anyone who wants to buy things on Bandcamp, all the proceeds go to the bands today on the first Friday of every month. And we will start. There we go. Okay, we're streaming on. I'm going to start recording. I'm going to spotlight myself. I'm going to screen share myself. And so we'll start in about 1 minute, Abby. Or, I mean, I'm starting now, but you'll be. Anyway, welcome everybody. It's 25 seconds after the top of the hour, whatever. And we're here at WSAW. East of the Rocky Mountains, west of the Rocky Mountains, we're at KSAW. I'm sorry. I got to do that more often. I want to pretend I'm Art Bell. Anyway, this is the We Believe in Comics Friday Night Workshop. I'm trying to get rid of these thumbnails. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, hide sidebar. There we go. And you are at Sequential Artists Workshop. And we are a nonprofit. We're a 501c3. We're not a radio station right now. We're at learn.sawcomics.org. That's where you can find our offerings, our courses, and things like that. What do we have coming up next? Starting this Saturday, we have formal experiments with Matt Madden. That's called Build Your Own Labyrinth. Starting a week and something after that is the Hidden History of Comics with Rob Clow. And that's a real in-depth look at comics through a bunch of different genres and a bunch of different, especially audiences, and like what kinds of audiences we're making comics, what kinds we're making them, but not but found it difficult to get distribution, what kinds were shut out, and how that's changed over time. It's really looking good. It's really great history. And coming up, we have the 6-month graphic novel intensive. It's a ways away, but it's so exciting. We got to tell it now. Next week in this spot, we have Jess Relifson. She's going to be doing Q&A comics. And if you know Jess, you know that'll be pretty cool. We have ongoing groups. You can find that at learn.sawcomics.org too, including Drawing Health, Sustainable Diary Comics, and whatever the heck Josh Baer wants to do. Also graphic memoir, ongoing group, and the comics flow group. It's too much to get into right now, but that's what we got going on. So tonight, share on Friday night, or share at hashtag Friday Night Comics, and with the hashtag at Comics Workshop, and we'll put Abby's in the chat as well. You can find us and share anytime at members.sawcomics.org. And thanks to everybody who donated today and every Friday or any time. It really helps keep these free, and it helps pay the artists. And so we really appreciate that. There's other ways to support us, including the sustaining member donations, which you can find at learn.sawcomics.org. And you can read more about that at the website. What else? Oh, okay. So we're almost ready. No inappropriate speech or imagery, please. No trolling or hate speech. Keep it PG-13, please. We have lots of kids in the room. It's pretty awesome, actually. I hope we get a couple to share tonight. Enjoy. Tell us where you're coming from in the chat if that hasn't already started. And here's Abby Kacen not from Athens, Georgia, but to Cincinnati, Ohio. That's what that little arrow means. Anyway, I'm really excited that Abby came our way, and I'm going to stop sharing if I can figure it out, and then I'm going to spotlight Abby if I can figure that out. There we go. Abby, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello, thanks for having me.
And
hello, everyone.
Make Us Make Music comics.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just do a little introduction about myself, what kind of work that I make, and then we'll make some music comics.
Awesome. And I'll be in the chat summarizing what you do, and I'll be muted and stuff. Go for it. Thanks.
So yeah, my name is Abby Kacen. I am also known as Mild Pain on the internet. A little bit about me: I make zines, cartoons primarily. I've been doing that since 2017 after I finished art school in Athens, Georgia. I've done some like DIY arts organizing, either through little like shows and studio stuff, but I make primarily autobio and semi-autobio and fictional comics. Very amateur, very beginner guitar player, but I love music and it inspires a lot of my stories and storytelling. So some of my background in art started with doing some local show posters in Athens, and being around in the music scene there is very in line with my style and my aesthetic. But originally, before that, I wanted to go into animation. So kind of dumped. I realized that illustration and comics and other sequential arts were more my thing. So in 2020, pandemic, all that, I started a website called Keep It Weird, where I was originally, that was my zine moniker, but then I started helping my friends sell their stuff online through the pandemic. And now it's just open resources for artists to either find out what zines or the resources are out there for them to stay connected with. And then my book, Sid and the Sickos, I was working on in 2020 and then self-published in 2021. Right now I'm working on a sequel book to that, and I do like auto bio mini comics and zines besides that. So if you check out my Instagram, you'll see the new stuff I'm working on. So Sid and the Sickos, it's a fictional story about these folks who are kind of friends. They just know each other from where they're living, and they get together and make a band during the pandemic, and their characters that just existed, my zines and illustrations, and I just love drawing them. So I keep doing that, and it's a lot of fun. My autobio stuff, sometimes I talk about music. A lot of it's about growth and change, and I reflect that also in my fictional stories as well. So you'll see in my fictional stories and autobio, it's all kind of based on like personal experience and feelings and observations. So making comics about music and music that we love, or shows that we've been to that made us feel something, is what we're going to do today. So as far as the music part goes, it comes from all different areas of influence. I love primarily guitar music, but I am into all different kinds, and I've seen a good array of shows in my time. So I'm excited to share some of that with you through the comic that I'll be making today. Artistically, though, everyone who has seen my art knows that I'm obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog and the like cartoon strips, and I've got just a mixed bag of comics that I love and have like taught me how to make comics since I was little. I used to like trace out of my Sonic comics back in the day, so keep on going. So before I start drawing, I want you to like think about either writing down or sketching out a memory of experiencing music, either live or listening to an album, or a few words that might describe a feeling you got from listening to music, or maybe you play music. So maybe you can think about what was your first concert or the first album that you bought. I know the first CD I bought was a Green Day CD. So I remember obsessively listening to that on my CD player on car trips. So take a little bit of time, think about that while I talk about what I'm gonna draw. So what I will draw for you today is gonna be a comic about a show that I went to back in 2018. I was seeing Andrew WK for the first time. For those who don't know who Andrew WK is, kind of like a original piano protege, but now does kind of like metal and rock and party music, and his whole mantra of like partying is good, like it's very positive. There's a lot of positive energy around it. Those will be some of the words and feelings that I'm coming from for the comic that I'll be making today. So I'm gonna try to stop sharing this screen and switch over to my other things.
I'll spotlight that one if I can find it. Andrew WK, is that spelled Andrew WK? I put it in the chat. Okay.
Like W period K.
Oh, I put DK. Like I don't know why I did that. Anyway, I'm looking for your iPad. Give me a second.
Yes, that was Ty Siegel, by the way, for someone who asked in the chat.
Oh, nice.
Which maybe.
Oh, there you are. You still. I got it. You just still have your Once you turn it on, I'll spotlight it.
There we go.
No, I lost it. This is what always happens. Hilarious.
Can I raise my hand on it? Does that help?
It'll help, but actually I got it. We're
All
good.
right.
That did it, actually. Yeah, that was the secret. Okay. Thank you so much.
Switch over here. Yeah, Andrew WK, Ty Siegel, the OCs, just a few favorites that I am currently thinking about today. But as mentioned, today we'll be doing a Andrew WK comic. Tool wise, feel free to use whatever tools you want to use. I'm choosing the pen and ink approach today. You can do it digitally with pencils, really, whatever you want to do. I already kind of have things penciled out, but I'll probably make changes along the way. But that is usually how I start as far as my approach goes. Whenever I'm making comics, I'm going to start with usually some boxes. I'll do some thumbnails or sketches on the side, which actually I'll grab another piece of paper to indicate the same thing. These are like my sketches earlier that I was trying to figure out what I was going to do as far as drawing goes, but decided to scrap that and go for something else. And then when thinking about what kind of music or a musical experience you're trying to depict, I like to draw the musicians themselves, but that's because of my own obsession with musicians. I don't really know why, but something about drawing people playing an instrument is really fascinating to me, and it's got like an opportunity to practice capturing a lot of rhythm and motion in comics. So it's a great opportunity to just get some practice in on if you've not drawn a whole lot of dynamic movements. A good opportunity for that.
Somebody in the chat says, I have a really great experience with Patti Smith, but I'm too afraid to draw her.
Well, I have felt that way. I was thinking earlier today about a different comic I would want to make, which was when I watched Prince do the Super Bowl. And
oh my gosh, yes.
That was just like a great childhood memory for me. Performing Purple Rain at the Super Bowl. Because I don't really watch sports, but I remember watching that Super Bowl show and thinking like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, you know, I look at a lot of reference photos. Whenever I'm at a show, I take a lot of photos just for that exact reason, because I want to try to capture the essence the right way.
So we could be drawing an experience that we, a music experience we had watching music or listening to music, but it could also be like buying a record in a store or even listening to it with headphones on or something like that, right?
Totally, yeah. So any music related memory that you have. Oh no, my lights just flickered. I'm really hoping this storm is over. Yes, so could be any related music memory that you have. I just really like going to see music live, but I do have some great memories of listening to music as well.
Selena says, mine will be mostly me in my car listening to the radio. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what kind of unique sort of experiences we get to see. When I was a teenager, I had like my closet is where I kept my stereo, so I would go into my stereo go into my closet with my headphones. So I think I'm going to draw that with my feet sticking out, like Snoopy or something. So in the chat, tell us what you're thinking of.
Yes, I would love to know what people are thinking about potentially drawing. I have another memory of taking my sister's iPod, like the old school huge brick iPod, and listening to the Jackson 5 on it.
Nice.
I think what's great too about like trying to draw anything related to music, whether it's you listening to music or a feeling that you got, it's a great opportunity to just like capture so much, either through like something that's autobiographical or even folks who want to do some type of, what's the word, like telling stories about musicians, or in a more historical way, maybe. There's a word for that I can't think of.
We're getting some good things in the chat. Let's see. Looking at Johnny Cash's feet at the House of Blues. Seeing AFI last fall. I don't know who that is because I'm old. And Davey Havoc climbed from the stage into the mezzanine and sat in the lap of a person in the row behind me. When Stevie Wonder came out at the Prince show the year Prince passed away. Oh my God, I had no idea that works. Michaela Davis says, my dad worked in the music industry as a backstage caterer. So I've been going to shows since I was 8. It's hard to pick just one thing. There we go. Donnie says, I don't go to a lot of concerts because the sound is nauseating, but I always listen to metal or electronic music and make little scenes with my comic characters. That sounds great, right?
So hi, Donnie. Hi, Selena. Friends of mine.
Oh, nice.
That I slide in. Thanks for
Welcome.
being here. Old friends and new. It's great.
Taking my very young baby to his father's gig. That's pretty cool. Somebody came in late because they were watching a show about Welsh music. So there we go. That's a good. Katie is making one about memorizing piano pieces. Nina wrote a song for Townes Van Sant. And him saying, I was just like Woody Guthrie. Wait, you met Townes Van Sant? Nina, you got to tell us more in the chat. First time I saw the Bouncing Souls, I skipped over a couple. Alun says, some years ago, I was attending a concert at a gaming convention and kind of kept myself busy, not eating enough. So I ended up just passing out in the middle of the concert. It's a great thing about these workshops is we get so many different kinds of stories.
Yes.
Helen says, Smokey Robinson, The Miracle Special Occasion, while sewing in the basement. Remember picking up the needle and replaying Heard It Through the Grapevine. Oh, that's lovely. And Elisa, or maybe Elisa says, any tips on drawing crowds in shorthand? It's true, we don't have very much time.
Yeah, so as you kind of see what I'm about to be doing here, I'm filling in a crowd. I usually, when I start, I'll start with the one that I want to focus on, and then from there I'm going to draw like smaller circles to indicate a bit of depth as we get through the crowd, which is another reason why I love drawing stuff from shows, is that it gives me a chance to just like practice drawing crowds. And then like, so I've got like a shape here that's going to be the top of someone else's head that I'll like fill in with a different color, or in this case it'll be black because I'm going to be doing primarily black and white. But if you were working in color, that's another way to create depth in a crowd, is just changing up the way that you have your value set.
Oh, the day Bob Marley died, I was varnishing a wood floor. I was so busy sobbing, I didn't notice I'd varnished myself into a corner. Leonie, what a story. I sat there sobbing and listening to reggae for 2 hours till the varnish was dry enough. What a wonderful story. Please draw that. Oh, wow. And so, Abby, what are you drawing? Clearly, there's a person at the piano and a crowd. Tell us more.
Yes, so this will be Andrew WK slaying on his keyboard, and then I'm in the crowd. This is my partner with me because we were at the show together, and then I'll have like a bit of the crowd receding, and then it'll be, so basically what happens in this story is that I'm at the show and I'm having a great time, and he's like rocking out so hard, and I get pushed to the front of the crowd. He's playing on the piano, and I get his sweat in my eye, right in my eye, and I'm loving it. Actually, I'm like totally pumped and happy to be there. So that is what this transition down here is about to be.
Oh my goodness.
And then it'll just be everyone else in the crowd having a great time. Because what I really enjoyed about this show and just Andrew WK as a musician is his whole motivational positivity and like party as a philosophy for being positive in the world. So turns out that rock and roll can be a force for good. And I also like to bump around in my drawings, so I will often kind of change what I'm doing.
Cool. It's cool that we're so multi-generational here. We've got other people saying hearing Joni Mitchell for the first time. High def stereo playing Court and Spark. Yeah, it's a great album. I'm gonna have to look up Andrew WK, this whole party as philosophy thing. I don't know who he is.
Yeah,
I like that Party Hard panel though.
yeah, so Party Hard is his thing. It's the name of all the songs, and I believe he kind of disappeared off the music scene after after 2021. So I'm hoping he makes a comeback. This is a brand new pen and it feels amazing.
That's one of those Tombow pens, right?
Oh yeah.
Everybody's favorite. Jackie says going to see Iggy in 1990 when very drunk and someone stage diving to my face. Oh my God.
Oh no. That has that's happened to me before.
I saw Iggy about 10 years after that, and he was amazing. Clearly in his 60s or something, maybe late 50s at that point.
He has a energy that is unparalleled.
Yeah.
So for the folks who were asking about crowds, you'll notice I'm like kind of just have some receding heads that I might like change up how they look. And also because it's one of my drawings, I like to throw in a robot or a creature. So there might be a robot in this corner right here. That didn't really happen in real life, but that's what I like to do. Maybe it's because I don't actually really like drawing people that much, but gotten used to it over the years.
You ever draw Sonic into the backgrounds?
Man, no, I should. That's like one of those things where I was obsessed with drawing Sonic for so long and it just like has faded away. I still appreciate like the Sonic fan culture. But maybe one day he'll make his way into the background. And then another way, or as far as like if you were to draw like a crowded scene at a show, if you want to add some depth, you can just like add someone either like fist bumping or throwing up, a hand in the background. Waving their arms. Sometimes I like to add someone like crowd surfing. will say the second time I saw Andrew WK, I did not get sweat in my eye, but I did get a pick from one of the guitar players who threw it into the crowd.
Always some gifts.
I do love some some memorabilia.
Lizzie says, do you have a collection of show ephemera? That's a great question. I'd like to know who else in the chat does too.
I mean, outside of like some guitar picks, and I've got a couple like torn up set lists that are definitely beer stained. Not much. I do have a horrible obsession with buying band t-shirts at shows. But I don't like, I mean, I guess the biggest thing that I have as far as like music obsessions and collections go, John Dwyer from the OCs, aside from a great musician, he's a talented visual artist as well. He's got like an art book of show posters that he made and a photography book that I have.
Do all the good bands come to Cincinnati?
Yeah, I just saw, I was thinking about this recently just because I saw them over the weekend. I saw Brainiac, which for the punk fans was a band in the 90s that disbanded when their lead tragically passed away in a car accident. But they just had like as a band, kind of an amazing story, and they have a documentary out now that talks about that story, and now the whole band is playing together a few shows. They released like an archival album, and it's like really sweet to see them come together again. And it was a lot of fun. So that was recent, and then there's some really good local bands here too. It is mean.
Wait, are you wearing glasses and the sweat got in your eye anyway?
Yes.
Okay.
It made its way in. I was I kind of just got shoved up to the front of the stage. I didn't even like mean to, but it was just such a wave of force kind of driving the whole crowd that found my way up to the front and got sweat in my eye. We'll say the majority of my music experience has been living in Athens, though, for those who know it being the home of B-52s, REM, and some great bands happening now.
Big Chestnut.
Yes, Big Chestnut.
Right.
Yeah, as I mentioned before we really got started, and then did not mention later again, I work for nonprofits full time, and that's why I live in Cincinnati. But previously, I was working at a nonprofit in Athens, Georgia, called Nucci Space, and they are a suicide prevention nonprofit for musicians, and they offer practice space and
Oh, wow.
some care for musicians, and they've been around for over 20 years now.
Wow.
So that is like, aside from just like loving music, like a bunch of my friends are musicians and share a lot of music with friends, so it's very important to me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So, and now I work for a public art nonprofit, and we work to employ youth. So they're the ones making the murals. I just do the back end work, but it's an interesting change.
Arlene wants to know if anyone here has Woodstock stories. So in the chat, that would be great.
Ooh.
Yeah. I grew up near Woodstock, but it was over by then. Way over.
I can get very stuck in drawing my hair. For those who want texture, it's mostly just a lot of tiny little spirals and C's.
Looks great. A lot of us are afraid to put too much black in an area or too much texture, but it's nice to see somebody unafraid and just like dig in. And
I definitely learned that from Josh and Hyena, but I was working in black and white when I was making comics in 2020. That was actually my book, Sin the Sickos, was my first book. It's like a little just shy over 100 pages, and I had never made a comic book that big before. And turns out you just have a lot of time when there's a pandemic. And I also had a lot on my mind at the time, as one does when you're in lockdown. And
I'm
it
going to
worked.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it kind of worked out well. It like really kickstarted me into being like, oh, I want to make comics more than I had been ever before.
Awesome. I just put the link to your book in the chat for anyone who wants to take a look.
Yes. I guess fair warning, it is a adult content book.
Okay. Do not get the parents' credit card and order it, kids.
Do not. It is an 18 and up book. When you're 18, I don't know what else you can do at 18. I guess is that when you get your driver's license? I don't remember.
I think you could smoke.
You can smoke. Read a book. Don't smoke. I don't recommend it.
You can vote, Jason says. It's funny that.
Oh yeah, voting is way more fun. I love voting.
Join the military, Ken reminds us, yeah. Or be drafted, as the case may be.
You can go to shows that are not all ages.
Sometimes it's 21 and up.
Yes.
Depends on where you are. I only did one panel, but I'm going to post it on Instagram and share it in the chat. Darren asks if you did a rough layout with pencils before inking. It looks like you did.
Yeah, very rough.
Can you show us the fourth panel? Can you like put it close to the camera? Maybe we can get a good look at your roughs. Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. I totally did not turn on my second light. That might help or not, or might wash it out entirely.
I'm not sure. It's pretty.
I have like very light pencils that are almost impossible to see.
Yeah.
But it is blue pencil.
Ah. So that'll be hard to see.
Yeah, when I pencil, unless I'm having a hard time, like you can kind of see in this first one, there's like a little bit more going on because I was not really sure how to figure that one out. And then I'll usually just go like very, very light with the good old blue pencil. Although when I'm working in my sketchbook, sometimes it is nice to just kind of go for it and have fun with laying down inks. Usually now though, more than before, I'll use pencil, specifically blue pencil. In the past, I was using just like your HB or maybe a B4. I like a soft pencil.
Yeah, I always had trouble with blue pencils because they were like too waxy, too hard to erase, and I always went for a softer pencil. I know some people really like them.
I think I got lucky. I bought these pencils I have right now at there's a store in Cincinnati called Indigo Hippo where you can just buy either used art supplies or like materials for super cheap. And
Oh, nice.
I got pencils for like 5 cents or something, something ridiculously cheap. And they actually erase pretty well. I will say I normally do my panel or my text and bubbles first, but I did not do that this time. Doesn't always stay consistent.
I wondered what you were going to do in that fourth panel. So the sweat made you party even harder. I get it. Just gave you the extra boost
The power of sweat.
of somebody else's sweat.
Yes. Not sure if I'll actually confine this in a bubble or not, but we'll get there later.
Think about it. Whoops.
So yeah, sometimes when I'll usually go in light with the pencil, and then once I've like started to fill in with ink, I'll start to try and figure out something a little bit in more detail. If I'm the downside of doing a light pencil is I'm just not fully committed to what I'm drawing yet.
Darlene is in Central Ohio, says Cincinnati has tornado warnings tonight. Oh my gosh.
Yes, we do. It's very
I know. And in Athens, right at 7, there's a downpour of rain and wind. We're getting snow tonight where I am. I just posted my one panel music comic. More crowds. Selena says it's gnarly in Cincinnati. Oh, Nikki says, is that Nikki in New Zealand? It says we've just been through one cyclone, multiple storms, and another on its way. Oh. Jen has a cat on her sketchbook, so her drawing is paused.
That was happening to me earlier today. This guy's got some like Archie vibes to him. I think we're getting to a good place here where I can turn it back over to discussion and sharing.
Eager to see what we get out of this. How many concerts versus how many other kinds of experiences? How many other people's sweat panels we get?
Yes. Okay, well, yeah, I think this is not to the fullest of completion that I would normally get it to, but
Some panel borders, maybe.
Yeah, panel borders will happen.
Should we line up some volunteers to take a look at some other
Yes.
work? You want to share?
Yeah, I'm happy to like turn it over.
Yeah, raise your Zoom hand. That's under reactions, and then cool. And Abby, do you want to come back on the other screen?
Yeah.
Or okay, I'll give you a second to do that. Cool. So we've got Alun, Jeannie, Walter, some others, Megan, Michaela, Helen, lots of people. So we'll just start. I'll ask Alun first to unmute, and we'll replace his spotlight, and we'll take a look.
All right. Well, again, I did mine on a tablet. Is it okay if I share the screen? Or?
Yeah, I'll give you that option. Hang on. Oops.
Okay. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Go for it. You can do that now.
Okay. So I already basically said in chat what it was about, but and of course, with the limited time, the drawing was very rough. But yeah, just so in 2017, I attended. Apparently, I left out an A there. Okay, I attended a They Might Be Giants concert at a game convention, and let me insert the missing A. There we go. I have them built a little burnt house in yours. I don't remember which songs they actually performed that night, so I don't know if that is actually one of the songs they performed, but oh well. Anyway, also left out the asterisk I was going to put there. I'd been very busy at the convention and hadn't really eaten that day, and this had consequences. And I, like I said, ended up just fainting, falling on the ground, and then I kind of came to somewhere backstage, and yeah, I could still hear them around the corner from the stage, but yeah, there was I guess the medical person there just, I don't remember if he actually offered me juice. He offered me something to eat or drink. I don't, but yeah, that's my concert experience.
Wow,
So, all right.
that's great. I love those the transition here too from you at the show and then realizing, oh no, I should. That's great.
All right, thanks, Owen. We'll go to Jeannie and then Walter. There we go.
Great. Yay. All right. So my experience was kind of a first one. This was in my high school in the 50s. We'd have a battle of the bands
Nice.
in the gymnasium with I don't know, at the time in the 60s, everybody was in a band, especially in the Bay Area in San Francisco. And so that is me sitting down on one of the benches in the gymnasium. And it was like 1966. And all the bands were playing music from the Beatles or the Beach Boys. But my friends were into jazz. And so when our friend's band came on, they played this, I don't know if anybody knows Maiden Voyage by Herbie Hancock, but very calming and mesmerizing. Anyway, that is the guy that I had a crush on, who played the drums, and everybody in the audience, I haven't shown the other people in the audience, they were going like, what is that? Anyway, it was so beautiful and I never looked back.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you for sharing.
Long time ago.
Awesome, Jeannie. Thanks so much. All right, we're gonna go to Walter and then Megan.
I'm also going to share a screen because I think you can see it more clearly. I took a picture of it.
Yeah, you should be able to do that.
I think you can see that now.
Yep.
So I chose to illustrate my own experience trying to learn to play the ukulele. I bought one on a whim when we were in Hawaii. And the first thing I did was go to take some lessons. And that was not very successful. The instructor and I did not communicate very well, but I persevered a little bit and actually got to the point where I took a video of myself playing Stand By Me and posted it on my blog. So that's out there in the world if anybody wants to find it. I've never ever gotten very good. For a short time, I was good enough to play in the park when my wife and I would go on picnics. And of course, with the deafness of love, she thinks that it's wonderful and keeps telling me to play more, but it's really, really not. So that's it.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome, Walter. Thanks so much.
I love
Thank
the learning memories.
Yeah, me and music are not close friends.
I feel that. I've tried. I still like to play guitar. I don't think I'm very good, but getting better slowly.
All right, we're going to go to Megan next. Thanks, Walter.
Hi. So my comic is let me see. And so answering the favorite band or album question is hard for me. I tend to find songs and listen to them over and over. I choose songs for the visuals and moods they evoke. They can be useful for figuring out my stories and feelings. So I kind of took a different route with that.
No, that's a great approach. I think that's like another great interpretation of like what music can do for us. It was great.
Yeah, music is it's so powerful. It stirs up so much,
Oh yeah, someone commented, is that an earworm?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a way to explain how I like get really fixated on that one song and will listen to it for over and over.
Yeah,
So
I love that.
that's what I did.
Awesome,
then
Megan.
And then the panel, this last one is just different characters, and I used emojis for moods and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Thanks, Megan. So we'll go to Michaela next, then Helen, then Chris, then Mary, then Cheryl. Let's see.
As I said in the chat, my dad is a backstage caterer. So my whole life is like music. I also do music comics too. I call them mix, like a playlist, and my name is Michaela. Yeah, you get it. So I had my dad as a backstage caterer for concerts. I decided to go with my first concert, which I haven't actually really drawn about. So this was great. So I got to go to work, or I got to go with him to work when I was 8 for my first concert, got my little backstage pass. It was Lauryn Hill. The year was 1999, and her album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, had just come out the year before. I was so pumped to hear that thing I'd heard on the radio. And then there's my dad and me. I had to stand on a chair to see the stage.
That's so great.
And then here I am falling off the chair, but saved by this person next to me. And he goes, "Whoa, you all right? Maybe standing on a chair wasn't so great for dancing." I honestly don't remember a ton from the show. I know I had a blast though. I do remember getting late night snacks after the show with my dad. And he goes, "You know who that guy was next to you?" And I go, "No." And he says, "That was Matthew McConaughey." And I just went, "Oh." And he had to tell me he's an actor. And then I went, "Oh."
Whoa.
So when I was 8, I was saved from falling off a chair by Matthew McConaughey at my first concert.
What a plot twist.
Plus of living in Los Angeles.
That's so cool. I love that. I love the chair. I love the being saved by Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter is 9, and most of her memories are about snacks also.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks so much, Michaela. We'll go to Megan next, and then Helen. Let's see. Oh wait, we did Megan. Sorry. We'll go to Helen next. There we go. See if Helen's there. Not sure. Might have to go to Chris. We'll go to Chris, and then we'll come back to Helen. Oh,
Okay.
There's Helen. There's Helen. Here we go.
Okay, so here's my picture. Let's see. So as I was saying, I would sew in the basement of my parents' house. And I would listen to Smokey Robinson and the Miracles and sing along as I sang. And so I would just, it was one of these goofy turntables.
Did she?
There we go.
And I would hug myself. I couldn't figure out how to, so I was, having a romance, and I was the object of my affection, but that's it.
Nice. I also love the turntable.
Helen, that's lovely. This is a good reminder for everybody. I'll put it in the chat where you can share so we can see it a little longer. We don't have to just see it in these tiny windows. Really nice illustrations. Okay, we'll go to Chris next.
I saw the Rolling Stones at Candlestick Park in 1981 for their Start Me Up tour. And I remember for 3 days afterwards, my ears were ringing. And nowadays I can't hear silence because I have tinnitus and my ears are always ringing. And I feel like there's this guitarist on the top of my head playing that really high note all the time. And so
Wow.
I'm about to walk through a doorway and it says, "Watch your head." And I'm thinking, how do they know I have this guitarist on my head?
That's great. I love the way you translated that.
Yes, thanks.
I love the Rolling Stones' Lips is the panel too.
Somebody in the chat says you captured Mick perfectly.
I was thinking the same thing too. Yeah.
Thanks.
Awesome, Chris. Thanks. And from one tinnitus sufferer to another, good luck with that. I never think of it visually, though. I never think it's anybody on top of my head. I usually think it's like a giant poking. Anyway, Mary is next.
Interpretation.
Yeah. See if Mary's there. Otherwise, we'll go to Cheryl. Otherwise, we'll go to.
Okay, I'm here.
There's Mary.
Get the buttons to work. So, okay, I have two separate memories. And this one is Joan Baez, who I immediately started sobbing when she started singing No Woman, No Cry, which is a song by Bob Marley, because I think it was like in the early 90s or late 80s when I saw her. But I had been a fan since the 60s, since I was a kid. And I used to sing to her records all the time. So yeah, I was a Joan wannabe. And this is Edgar Winter on the White Trash Tour playing Frankenstein under a black light, strobe light. And you know, I'm one of these people here, right there in the first or second row or third row or something, and we're all smoking pot, we're all sweating because there's been some discussion about sweating, and God knows what else was going on, just terrible things, you know, things you don't talk about to your parents were going on in this row, you know. And anyway, for anybody that doesn't know who Edgar Winter was, he was an albino. So he had really long white, pure white hair. And under a black light, he looked like some kind of otherworldly creature. And it was just, I will never forget this moment. The song he was playing was Frankenstein, which if you've never heard that, go to YouTube right now and listen to it.
Yeah, like other
awesome.
folks have energy in the crowd scene is great.
Yeah, I just kind of went for it. It was just like,
that's all you got to do. It looks great.
Awesome, Mary. Thank you. We'll go to Cheryl next, and then Libby. Let's see. There we go.
Hi. Okay. So my friend invited me to the Triple Door to see Ocrville River. I didn't really know much about them other than the songs on the radio. And then, oh, I can't read it backwards. Can you read it?
I can read it for you out loud.
Yes. Yes.
Sure. I realized the guy's name wasn't Ocrville or River. It was the band's name, but they had a rotating cast of characters, and the only constant was the lead with the boring name Will. But the bassist, I didn't even remember he had a button-down shirt on his
instrument.
Okay. Then you got, oh, that worked. He stole the show by moving like a Muppet at the back of the stage. You might have to show us. I love those illustrations. You might have to show us what moving like a Muppet.
His head was like, it was crazy. It was like a 70s Muppet.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cheryl. Okay, we'll go to Libby next.
Oh, so I might need help reading this too, but let's see. When I was young, I went to see the Pretenders at the Orpheum in Boston. Totally loved Chrissie Hynde. Crowd scene, broken drumstick flying into the audience. I got to go into the dressing room after the show. My brother-in-law was the manager, the general manager. I got to keep Chrissie Hynde's white go-go boot polish. That was a big deal. I had that for a very long time. The addendum here is last May, I was at the Orpheum for my brother-in-law's memorial service.
Wow.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. I like how you just drew like kind of some other things surrounding the memories of the show too. That was really great.
Thanks.
Thanks, Libby. Thanks so much. We'll go to Marlene next.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for a lovely invitation. I was going to do something totally different, and I think you'll notice that my style has totally changed. I've never gone to a rock concert, and I'm in my 70s, simply because I was born in South Africa and those kind of things were off limits to us as people of color. Anyway, I thought, oh, just, use a bit of Abby's ideas and get started. And so I found myself just being immersed in pure imagination. And I started to draw, starting with what she started with. So a bit of a copycat there with a minion and a few people watching this artist. And then I thought to myself, what's next? And I love music. So I thought, okay, Jimmy Barnes is an Australian rock artist. I don't know if you know Jimmy Barnes, but he's got this peculiar style of singing, from his throat. And I thought, well, I'll just make it up and call my artist Van Halen, and I just made up the character. I put on a big furry coat on him. And then I said, well, he's got a big sideburn and he's got bling bling everywhere. Bling bling is jewelry in Australian. And he's singing. So everybody is looking at him and having a totally good time. And then there's me. I thought, oh, now he's going to sing a song I really love. And it really stirred up feelings in me. And so I'm starting to shed a few tears and closing my eyes and having a think about the past. Someone spoke about past boyfriends before. And I thought, yeah, it was really lovely when I was going out with so-and-so. And, we were in a dance one day and it brought up memories about that. Then I continued with the next one and thought, okay, so if I was there, what would Van Halen look like? And he's totally jumping up in the air with his guitar. He started off playing on the piano. I don't even know if he does play the piano or the keyboard. And then he used the guitar to start to sing. And he's a total artist and very complete and exciting. And so at the end of the show, a few of us jump up. You can see the thumbs up that we gave him. And in appreciation for everything, we had a very good time. So this was fun for me today to do a totally different thing, just using my imagination.
It's so beautiful, Marlene. I love how expressive everything is, and for how deeply you thought about it as you were drawing it. I love that.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed this. Thanks so much.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thanks, Marlene. I'm gonna go to Michael next, then Renee, Lizzie, Jackie, Troy, Jen, Mishka. Michael's not there. Michael's there. There we go. Michael, am I reading it for you? Up to you.
No. I just wanted to draw John Lennon.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
It's funny
so
that,
good.
yeah, it's great. It's
And
funny
then
you read it.
I was gonna try to write something about the Get Back documentary to pretend I had an actual story. But then you called on me, Tom. That's great. But this was fun to do.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. It perfectly captures the essence.
Awesome. Okay, we'll go to Renee next. Thanks so much, Michael. And then Lizzie. Let's see. There's Renee.
Hi. So I did that I'm kind of have like this song now. I think this is my song for the to deal with rude people for the year. Shake It Off by Mariah Carey. This is me dancing. And then I have fibromyalgia, so I'm very sensitive when people walk into me in the street. And I mean, I live in New York City, so there's plenty of rude people. So this is me, I'm in pain, and the pain lasts. I'm still in pain, and it's just like, shaking it off, and I just feel so better, like the sun, I feel all sunny. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abby.
Yeah, it's nice to see the song, the songs that we think about throughout the day. I've definitely got a few that make me feel better at the end of the day.
Nice. Thanks, Renee. Okay, Lizzie.
Yep. I'm kind of the opposite of Michael, who was like all picture and no story. So I was like, oh, I have a story and I don't feel like drawing. So I just do the burnt CD. So the older boy down the road gave my brother a couple burnt CDs when we were kids. And this was kind of like the first music that we brought into the house. And so it was Modest Mouse and Marilyn Manson. And I wanted to like them both, but Marilyn Manson was like too intense for little baby me. So luckily I liked Modest Mouse. I was like, this is good music. And so Float On by Modest Mouse was like my first music at home.
Nice. I love that. Thanks for sharing.
Whoa, and check out the chat. Michaela is doing a deep dive podcast about them. So
Okay.
you guys can chat. Okay, thanks, Lizzie. We'll go to Jackie next.
Yeah, there's here's a bunch of narratives that I don't know, it's a little TMI, but this guy Chris and I went to see Iggy Pop in 1990. It was for the Brick by Brick tour. Went to dinner first, ate espresso beans, and here's a paragraph about my drug use and natural state in the early 1990s. And it goes to, oh, great, can we please go up to the front, please? And he's just kind of grudgingly doing it. Iggy was amazing until someone stage dived onto my face. We spent the rest of the show in the balcony with ice on my face and Chris's beefy paw on my shoulder.
Wow.
So
I love it's all the hands in that last panel, but yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah, that last panel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie. We'll go to Troy next.
A lot of sweat. Glad I could inspire sweat.
Oops, having a hard time. Oh, Troy.
Okay, so I have. Oh, can you see me?
No. There we are. Yep.
Oh.
I don't know what happened.
Okay. So I mean, there's so many stories and so many bands that I love and concerts I've just really enjoyed, but this is about a band that I'm sort of lukewarm about. I was invited to see them by my then boyfriend, now husband, and I just kind of said yes, but I wasn't really into it. And I barely even brushed my hair, as you can see. And I'm sort of daydreaming. I think I'm thinking to myself, how long can I pretend to love this band? Next one, because I didn't tell Tony this, but I don't really like the B-52s. In fact, I really, really doubt I'll even remember this concert in 10 years' time. Then suddenly, here's the band. And he's singing She Came from Planet Claire, and he's pointing at me. And I'm just saying, is he pointing at me? And
there we go.
There's me. Why is Tony laughing at me? Why is everyone laughing at me? And there I am on the Jumbotron. I'm Planet Claire. And oh my God, that's me 10 years later. And well, I'm still talking about it.
So that's sorry, I hope you.
The video is pretty
That's
spotty,
my story.
but it's a great story. I wonder if you can post that somewhere so we can see it later. Video is pretty spotty, but oh, there we go.
Oh, were you not able to see it?
Not too well, but the last panel
Wait,
for
hang
sure.
on, let me just. Okay. Okay, I'll try and post it.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
though.
Please do. I'd love to
Yeah,
see.
no Jumbotron here. Great story, though. Thanks so much. We'll go to Jen next.
Okay, so I was too busy watching her draw and having cats sit on me to actually make the comic, but I drew as much as I could. So this brought me back to my first encounter with anything like a concert. I grew up pretty sheltered. When I was 13, I went to a different school, and my best friend Beth went to the Police Synchronicity tour with her sister at Merriweather Pavilion in Baltimore. She brought me back a videotape of the world tour, and so that's me watching in front. I had like this god awful perm and zits, and it was a very awkward stage of life. I've destroyed most pictures of it. And then of course this is Beth and Lisa, and they were sort of like beautiful and savvy about music and everything I wanted to be, so I sort of idolized them. And they introduced me to the first rock music I knew, and like anything like outside of like my dad liked Joan Baez and the Beatles, which, you know, it's pretty decent taste, and my mom not so much. God bless mom. So anyway, there's a bunch of stuff here, and like the bands that I saw in the next concerts. The first concert I really saw was in the RISD Auditorium. It was Red Hot Chili Peppers and Thelonious Monster and Jane's Addiction. And then here's a drawn picture of the Police.
Those are great.
Thank you.
Really great.
Yeah, great show.
Yeah, all three of them in the RISD Auditorium? All three of those bands?
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Wow.
It was Thelonious Monster opened, then Jane's Addiction, and he got booed because he just sat with the back. He was so stoned, he was sitting with the back to us, like in the middle of the stage like this. And then the Red Hot Chili Peppers came out and were just amazing. Yeah.
This is delightful. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Jen. All right, Mishka's up next. Let's see if we get.
Can I share screen?
Yeah, I think I got to turn it. You're not doing your trick anymore, huh? You're like, no.
Well, no,
more.
I have to show you around because I didn't write any words.
You should be able to share.
Okay, let me try. Oh, there it is. Okay. Whoop. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a story of summer of 1990. The Cure came to Prague. Wait, am I going to be able? Oh yeah. Okay, and I was in my aunt's living room, and I said to my cousin, who also liked the Cure, "Oh my God, the Cure is going to be here. We got to get tickets." It's like, it's downtown. They're coming next week. I'm like, okay, I've never been to a concert before, but I know that we have to like camp overnight to get these tickets, because that's what people do to get tickets, right? For a really popular thing. And then my aunt overheard this in the kitchen. She's like, "You are not camping in downtown Prague to get tickets for a concert." And that's my cousin consoling me. So we set our alarms for 4 a.m. I was like, oh my gosh, we're not going to get these. We woke up. That's the alarm going off. We ran down to the metro. We ran up the stairs, and then we got to the ticket agency. It was totally empty. It's like, I don't understand. Did we get the date wrong? What's going on? There's nobody here. And she's like, I don't know. I've never bought tickets before. I don't know what's going on. And so we just sat in front of this empty, closed ticket agency for hours because they were gonna open until 9, right? And then halfway through the time, this guy comes by with a trench coat and asks us if we want to see his we want to see his pen. I was like, Camila, why does he want us to see his pen? I don't understand. She's like, shut up. And she very careful. She's like, no, I don't want to see your pen. And he walked away. And then finally some people showed up and we bought the tickets. We were the first ones in line and the concert was great.
Wow. Oh, that is a fantastic story. And I love how you drew it too.
It's really funny. The stupid American cousin's like, this is a big concert.
Wow. Was it sold out?
No, it's just nobody cared.
Nobody cared. Oh my God.
Running into it. They're like, the who? The what?
Amazing, Mishka. Thank you. Post that somewhere so we can get another look at it. Okay.
Yeah, I'll add words. I didn't have time for words.
Oh, I don't even think it needs it. Well, at least we'll get it. All right, we're going to go to Geo next. Let's see. And then Jamie, if Jamie's around. Jamie, raise your hand. Okay, let's see. Here we go.
Hello. Thank you all
Hi.
for doing this. I made a comic as well. The first little blurb is about me seeing Pete Seeger. He came and visited a bunch of us Quaker kids. The most memorable part was him playing his face, like, and it was amazing, and all of us children loved it. He also, of course, had us all singing along with him. And then the next day he came and visited us all, which was quite exciting. But the very cool young person who I can't remember at all was very starstruck, which was, for me as a kid, very frustrating. But the moral I get at the end of the story is I play a little bit of music these days as well, and I'm still trying to play my cheeks. And that thank you, guys.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Geo. Okay, and now we're looking for Jamie. I don't know if Jamie there. Jamie.
Hold on, Tom. I'm here. I'm trying to participate.
All right, get your video on and we'll.
Hold on. Everything's second generation over here. It's very struggly, but I'm doing the best I can. So, of course, I'm 40 minutes late because I'm deeply in demand. Everyone wants me to pick up their dog shit, so that's why I'm late. Anyway, here we go. I only had time to do a little bit, but my heart is in it. And so I'm going to try to tell you the story and maybe it will work okay. So I'm taking you back to the early 90s when I lived in Hell's Kitchen. Normally I can come up with a full-fledged comic that has color and ink on it. But if you're 40 minutes late, you're behind the 8 ball and your brain is just telling you don't even try. So the fact that I tried is a win-win, okay? That's what Ian MacKay would say. Anyway, so here, we're back at Hell's Kitchen in the 90s. And here I am drinking my giant Budweiser in a 40 ounce. And I see on the TV this man that I hate. I go, who is this man that I hate? And he is screaming at me, I think you got a low self-opinion, man. I see you standing all by yourself. And I'm like, who is this asshole telling me that I have a low SO? What is a low SO? He's a low asshole. I hate him. And I think I hate this guy, right? I think I hate him. I call my friend Mariah. She proceeds to tell me he is the leader of Black Flag. I'm like, what's Black Flag? Oh, yeah, we never heard of them. So she goes, yeah, it's Henry Rollins and his best friend just died and he's very upset. He's the loneliest guy in rock. So I get this, she gives me this poster. She debriefs me, the idiot, Henry Rollins 101. You missed the entire 80s. He's the coolest person on the planet and very sexy, by the way. And now I'm in love with him because I have this poster of him all alone because Joe Cole died. And he's alone on his stoop, just with his undercover cop shoes, hugging himself. And I'm like, I want to be the one that hugs you. I want to be the one. So then I proceed to try to quit alcohol. And I put posters of him everywhere. And I put my pictures of 40 ounces going into Henry's mouth, which looks just as weird as when you put a cigar into a monkey's mouth. Okay. None of this helps me, by the way. I don't quit anything, but I did quit smoking. Anyway, then I did this tattoo on, and I designed it for my brother and a couple of his friends. And then I go to the concerts. Now Mariah has told me, yo, they're undercover. They're Henrietta Collins and the wife beating child haters. And they're at CBGB's. Get your ass down there. They're playing tonight. So here I am, and I'm in the front row, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in love with him. I'm looking up his shorts. All the punkers are there. Here we go. Now, at a certain point, it just becomes bizarre because he says, like in an interview, that he's going to get the rest of his tattoos filled in the next time he gets a chance to sit down. So I make the man a chair and I bring it to him at City Gardens. And after the show, by the way, I had gum so that I could have fresh breath, which flew out onto my shirt and got everywhere because of the mosh pit. So I had to go in the bathroom, turn my shirt inside out, and now it's sticking to my cleavage. And then get this chair I made, which had cartoons and comics on it, by the way, Tom. Don't be afraid. I'm bringing it full circle. It had Wile E. Coyote strangling someone for not washing the dishes. It had the X-Men on it, but I just made it say men. And then I forget the other thing. But we run outside, and Henry hates to be touched. My cousin with her toucan claw, like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fingernails, she claws Henry in the back so he will turn around and see the chair I have presented him. And he actually takes it into the truck. And I find out later it made it to Los Angeles because the girl, I forgot her name. Oh, Kennedy. Kennedy worked at Love Saves the Day. And she told my friend Mariah when she went in there that she saw the chair in Henry's office in Los Angeles in 1992 or 3. I don't know. It was a long time ago. But that's my offering. And I'm so grateful for this experience, even though I'm late all the time. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everyone. And teacher, I'll learn your name and finish this up and post it. That was way too long. I'm so sorry. It's been a rough week. But it was my birthday yesterday, so I get a pass.
Happy belated birthday, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for this experience. I love you.
Thank you, Jamie. And all right. I didn't expect such a. I'm not even sure I understood all of that. She made a chair. Who makes a chair and brings it to their favorite to a concert? Anyway, I'll have to ask later.
Jamie does.
Yeah, Jamie does.
I did. I'll explain it to you one day, Tom.
Awesome. All right. So, well, Abby, thank you so much. Oh, looks like we got one more hand. Do you want to take it real fast, Jason? Let's look real fast.
Can you hear me? Sorry, it took me so long to ink everything in, so I really apologize for that. So I have so much to share. Obviously, you know I love music. You can see behind me here. I'm a huge guitar fan. I play it all the time, and I'm wearing a Music Villa shirt right now. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the if you guys ever get a chance to go to Bozeman, Montana, world-class guitar store out there. So I have so much to share. The first one is that this is not, I didn't just do it, but this is for my friend's band, and I don't know what goes together better for comics and music than video games. So we're doing a concept for a video game, 4-player video game for my friend's band set to their music. It's going to be pretty cool. You know, if we actually get it done. Okay, moving right along. Hang on. All right. So then the next one is, and I love drawing music stuff, and this one really hit home for me. I'm a huge Pearl Jam fan, and so when they were inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, this was a classic shot of Eddie Vedder that was all over the press, and I couldn't resist this one. So, you know, I draw kind of abstracted and cartoony, but I had to get this one down. It's all just in pencil. And then, so this is the one I drew tonight. And just so you know that it's real, I'm going to quickly share my screen.
Oh, I have to make that. Yeah, there you go.
And then I can share this window here. And can you guys see that? So this really happened. This was one of the last concerts Prince gave before he passed away. And it was in Washington, D.C., I think at the Warner Theater. And I had gotten, this was the second show. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
You still hear me? Okay. So this was the second show, and down at the Warner Theater, and we just, I didn't buy front row tickets. It just sort of, the crowd just sort of got me there. I wasn't
Now he froze. Now he disappeared. Uh-oh.
Oh,
I think
Hello?
maybe a storm got him. Wait.
Hello?
Are you back? Oh yeah, there you are.
So yeah, I don't know
Hang
what
on.
just happened. That was weird.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So anyhow, it was real. He was really there, and then this happened, where Stevie Wonder came out, and they just rolled him out on the piano. They didn't say, "Ladies and gentlemen, Stevie Wonder." They just rolled him out, and he started playing, and it was unbelievable. And then he left, and we were like, "Wait a minute, was that Stevie Wonder?" And after
Can you zoom in on that one?
Yeah. So after he left, he came back out on stage at the end of the show, and he was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Stevie Wonder," way at the end. But during his cameo, he just came in and played a little bit and then bounced, and the crowd just lost it. It was absolutely incredible. So because I only had 2 pictures of this, sorry, I'm speaking so hastily. I thought I'd try to do it as like a little 2-panel thing, and just break it up that way, so that like, and almost sort of use the crowd as the frame, so that the crowd kind of breaks the panels, and then everything is framed in black, and then you have these sort of 2 reference images as the panels, because I can't draw without reference. So
no problem with
so
that.
there it is. Anyways, okay, so that's all I've got. Thanks for your time, guys. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. What a great night. Where was that again?
I think the Warner Theater.
Where?
In DC, Washington, DC.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Wow. All right. Abby, thank you. Tell people, oh, your internet's getting a little choppy, so I don't know how the weather's getting there, but
yeah, if you can still hear me, my internet's mostly Instagram at @mild_pain.
Yeah, I'm putting that
.art, or if you just search my name from the post on SAW, you can find me on the internet pretty easily.
just put it in the chat as well. And they should look for Sid and the Sickos.
Yes, Sid and the Sickos, new book coming out maybe next year. Got a new zine. I'll be doing a lot of zine fests this year and a little comic fest too. So maybe I'll be in an area near you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I'm gonna ask everyone to unmute and just give you a big cheer, and stay safe in that tornado or whatever is coming and making your internet choppy. All right, everybody, let's say goodnight and say thank you to Abby. Abby, this was super fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Good luck with the tornado. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
you so
Can't
much.
wait to watch the replant and hear everyone's stuff.
Bye.